This is the story of Ramlal, a watchman who was hired to guard an old, abandoned mansion. The mansion stood on the outskirts of a village, right near a dense forest. Locals called it the haunted haveli. Years ago, a rich landlord had lived there with his wife. But one stormy night, both were found dead under mysterious circumstances. Since then, the mansion remained locked. No one dared to enter it, except Ramlal. Ramlal had no choice. He was poor with no other job options, and this was the only work he found, guarding the mansion at night. He told himself, "Ghosts aren't real. People are just superstitious." The first night passed uneventfully. Ramlal laid out a blanket on a wooden cot, made some tea, and sat leaning against the wall. The mansion was silent, maybe too silent. But from the second night, strange things started happening. At exactly midnight, Ramlal heard the sound of a woman crying, coming from the upper floor. He was startled but tried to convince himself it was probably just an animal. But when the crying continued every night, his fear began to grow. On the fourth night, Ramlal decided to find the source of the sound. Carrying a lantern, he slowly climbed the creaking staircase. As he reached the top, the air suddenly turned cold, and a foul, rotten smell filled the space. One door slowly creaked open on its own. As he peeked inside, what he saw made his blood run cold. A woman in a white sari stood by the window, her hair messy, her head bowed. Suddenly, she turned around. Her eyes were blood red. Ramlal screamed and ran downstairs as fast as he could. He shut the door and hid under his blanket, shivering through the night. The next morning, he rushed to the village priest and told him everything. The priest listened calmly and said, "That spirit is the landlord's wife. Her husband murdered her in that mansion. Her soul still wanders, waiting for justice." The priest promised to perform a ritual to bring peace to the spirit. The next day, they conducted a special prayer, lit a sacred fire, and prayed for her soul to rest. Since then the crying stopped, but Ramlal never returned to guard that mansion again. Even today, if you pass by the old haveli, the air feels unusually cold, and if you stand still, it feels like someone is watching you.
4.